Now, this morning on a Twitter poll, we'd ask you, do you think the renewed rivalry between Ruto and Raila will affect the Building Bridges initiative? So much of your feedback on a Twitter handle at KTN News. My Twitter handle at Zeta Brenda. Begin with the hashtag KTN News Center as you give us your feedback, whether you think the renewed Ruto-Raila rivalry will affect the Building Bridges initiative. Right, now that is a discussion I want us to have this morning with Anthony Oluoch, Member of Parliament of Mathare, and Didmas Baraza, who is a Member of Parliament of Kimilili. But before I engage these two honorable Members of Parliament, I'd like us to cruise over to Kakamega and talk to our reporter, Willie Lusige. Lusige, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us in KTN News Center. What are residents of Kakamega saying? Do they think the rivalry between Ruto and Raila is likely to, bring some shake-up when it comes to the famous handshake between Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta?
Many thanks, Brenda. Actually, for the past 6 months, we have been seeing President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga talking about the Building Bridge initiative, and it all began on 9th of March this year when we had the grand and famous handshake, and they promised actually to close up on all loopholes into the country's life. But what you have already noted that we have seen this week, the Deputy President William Ruto comment that maybe the bridge initiative was put in place or has been converted into a plot to wreck Jubilee Party. And what we want to do now is just to speak to some locals here, maybe to get their clear picture of their understanding about the current wars that we are seeing between between the Deputy President and Raila Odinga. Tumeona ule mzozo ambao umekuwepo baina ya Raila Odinga na naibu wa Rais William Ruto, na wengine wanasema kwamba ile ahadi iliyokuwepo ya kuwaunganisha wa Kenya kwa jina la Bridge Building Initiative labda itaweza kusambaratika. Sijui maoni yako ni yapi?
Jina naitwa Dave Mwange, mkaaji hapa Kakamega. Nami natoa maoni nikisema kwamba wakati Uhuru aliunganisha Raila, Kenya ilikuwa inachomeka, na Uhuru akaona ni mzuri akakutana na ndugu yake Raila wakuje pamoja waunganishe Kenya na Mudavadi na Kalonzo. Na baada ya pale Ruto hakufurahia, na Ruto ameanza tena kuchokora Raila, anataka tena kuharibu hii mkataba ambayo ilikuwa imewekwa. Nasi kama Wakenya tunasema hatutakubali Ruto aenda achokore ile initiative ya handshaking, kwa sababu handshaking imeleta amani Kenya, imeongeza uchumi juu, hata kama maisha imeenda juu, lakini tuko na amani. Asema kwamba Mungu ndiye atatusaidia tupate hii vitu vingine zote kwa sababu ya handshake. Kenya Kakamega tuko tunafanya kazi, tuko tumekaa tu, hatuko tunatembea mahali, lakini tumshukuru Mungu kwa sababu Raila kukuja pamoja akasaidiana na Raila na Uhuru Kenyatta, kijana wa Kenyatta huyu, tukafanya nini? Tukapata kazi, tukapata amani. Sasa Uhuru na vitu vyake kuzungazunga na tangatange tu, lakini hatutaki vitu vya kuswambia hapa handshake na tabureki atafanya nini. Hapana, tunataka tu handshake niendelee na tukiwa wa Kenya pamoja, tufanye kazi pamoja. Uhuru ashikilie hapa, hata Kakamega amekaribishwa Madaraka Day ya kuja hapa, tutamwambia mambo yetu ya handshaking vile imeleta manufaa hapa Kenya.
Asante sana. Let me speak to Sam. Unaweza pia songea karibu tupate maoni yako kabla tumalize na wewe. Labda huu mzozo ambao unashuhudiwa baina ya Raila Odinga na makamu wa Rais William Ruto, maoni yako ni yapi na unadhani itaendelea kusambaratisha ile hoja ya kuwaunganisha wa Kenya?
Kwa majina naitwa Boniface Mundi Pundo kutoka hapa Kakamega. Mimi nasema kuwa handshake imeleta amani Kenya, na kile ambavyo naibu wa rais anasema kuwa mambo na handshake imeleta watu imeleta shida kati ya kupatanisha wa Kenya. Mimi nasema handshake imeleta amani, biashara inaendelea, hata kama vile wanasema uchumi imepanda kidogo. Mimi nasema handshake imeleta amani.
Lakini yeye anasema so kwamba anasema ile handshake haileti amani, lakini anasema pia inatumika vibaya kusambaratisha chama cha Jubilee. Sijui maoni yako ni yapi?
Hapana, hapo tunakanusha kuwa handshake sambaratisha chama cha Jubilee. Kwa hivyo handshake nasema haijadhuru popote kile chama cha Jubilee.
Asante sana. Wacha tuzungumze na mwingine, tufahamishe jina lako na maoni yako ni yapi. Unadhani kwamba ile safari ambayo tulikuwa tumeanza ya kuunganisha wa Kenya itaweza kusuasua kutokana na huu mzozo ambao unashuhudiwa sasa hivi?
Kwa majina muite Moses ama muite Mtwenje Moses. Maoni yangu kwa mzozo ambaye tumeona jana kwa video ya video, Bwana Deputy President, punguza hasira. Ukiwa kiongozi, ukiwa na hasira, Mungu ataweka mipaka kama ambaye amewekea Raila, ile mipaka ambayo ya kusema ya kwamba nikifanya hiki watu wataona hiki. So deputy, mimi nakuomba relax, wacha hasira. Unajua hasira ni kitu mbaya. Raila angekuwa president, lakini Mungu ameweka mpaka. Kwa nini? Raila anatamka maneno mbaya. Wewe kuja tafuta marafiki hapa Kakamega, ukae nao. Tembea, marafiki ni wengi, si lazima utafute Joe. Tafuta marafiki, huko umewini mama mmoja, kuja hapa Kakamega, tafuta viongozi hata wa Kakamega kama sisi watu wa bodaboda, tutafute nyumba tukae, tuongee mambo ambayo inakuja ya 2022. Lakini mambo ya huyu mjamaa uwajana na yeye, ukipinganisha na yeye ataleta shida. Sasa yeye ameleta shida, sasa hata tumezoea maisha ngumu. Sasa hakuna hata kutafuta mambo ya Raila.
Na labda unadhani kwamba itaadhiri sana ile shughuli ya kuunganisha Wakenya?
Itaadhiri kwa sababu tuko na watu wengine hawaoni kitu yenye iko mbele. Watu wengine wanaona 2022. Lakini president akifanya kazi yake, alafu deputy afanye yake, waje huyu jamaa kae. Huyu jamaa ana shida.
Asante sana, kwa sababu ya muda nitakukata. Kwa hivyo Brenda, those are just a few comments from the locals here in Western Region, to be specific in Kakamega, about the current wars that we are seeing between the Deputy President William Ruto and the ODM party leader Raila Odinga. Brenda.
Thank you so much, Willie Lusige, for those comments, getting those comments from residents of Kakamega. And Honorable Anthony Lodge, you've heard what residents of Kakamega have said.
Yes, I have, and I think the one thing that sticks out as a sore thumb is that William Ruto is running from something, and I think the only person who can explain, or the only thing that can explain what he's running from, I think is the handshake itself. William Ruto was never comfortable with the handshake from the very beginning. Let's admit that. He came out by saying that, you know, our Wangwana will congratulate, but every action that he has done subsequent to that, including those of his persons. You remember Murkomen appeared on state TV, and for almost an hour went on about stopping short of just calling the president himself a conman. You've seen this language now has been used against Raila Odinga, but you will recall that at some point Ruto did actually make reference to Uhuru Kenyatta in not so flattering terms. I have taken the trouble of looking up the word conman, and the word conman refers to someone who is dishonest or uses illegal means to trick people into doing something. It also refers to a wheeler dealer, a convicted somebody. The deputy president is not just another person in the street. You could forgive any other person. You could perhaps forgive Didmas or somebody like me coming from Mathare using that kind of street language. The deputy president is the #2 in command. That office comes with certain dignity and respect, and the things that he says from his mouth needs to reflect that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Honorable Didmas.
I think one thing about Honorable Raila Odinga is that he's very predictable. You can easily know where he's coming from and where he's headed to. If you trace his history back in 1997, where he abandoned Wamalwa, he teamed up with Moi. He wanted to bring the Moi's government down. He went to work with Kibaki. You saw what happened. Even recently, when he teamed up with the Wetangula and Musalia, in NASA, when they move around this country looking for votes everywhere, at one point he connived with the ODM senators and the NASA senators. They threw Wetangula out from the seat of minority, and that is what we are calling a conmanship. And I think by fact that he has made it clear that he will run for presidency in 2022, this is a person that had a fifth agenda. He wants to use the fifth agenda to draw the succession debate. He wants to use the fifth agenda to
Honorable Didmas,
set the agenda for
let me just cut you short. Let me just cut you short here from what you're saying. You're saying that Honorable Raila has made it clear that he wants to run for 2022. At no point have I ever heard the Honorable Odinga saying that he wants to run for 2022. Rather, it has been members of the opposition saying that 2022 he has to be on that ballot.
Of course, you know very well that James Orengo speaks for Raila. John, but he speaks for Raila. They never speak for themselves. And what we are saying that while the president's agenda for the handshake was very clear, Raila seemed to hide some tricks on under the table. That's why he wants to use this handshake to frustrate his deputy, and he thinks that the handshake has kind of elevated him to the position of the Prime Minister.
So are you trying to support Deputy President William Ruto's statement that Raila is behind a scheme to have him kicked out of Jubilee Party?
Absolutely. Not absolutely. He's bringing in confusion, bringing in gossip. Every day you hear a lot of fitina peddled by the Raila and his team. And you know, while the Anthony Oloch and the rest, they have said that they have not entered into a merger with the Jubilee, there is just a relationship. Why are they meddling in the affairs of our party? Okay,
Honorable Oloch, you are among members of Parliament who yesterday came out very clear that do not drag Raila's name into your own political problems. And Honorable Dismas is certainly agreeing with Ruto's statement that Raila wants him, is plotting a scheme to have him kicked out of Jubilee.
I don't think that could not be further from the truth, because Raila Odinga is not a contemporary of William Ruto. And Raila Odinga is not an official in Jubilee, and Raila certainly is not in government. He is not capable of dismantling or sambaratisharing Jubilee as you people. I think this is just fear that is born out of somebody who does not know how to play the politics in the light of the present circumstances. The truth of the matter is, the person who feels most pinched by the idea of the handshake, and especially the issues about the fight against corruption, is William Ruto. The person who feels that a referendum which will expand the democratic space and perhaps change the manner in which we carry out our governance, that person is William Ruto. It is good that he comes out and says that on the issue of referendum, if you people want us, let us go and debate it out there. Battles in Parliament are won on arguments. It is not won on whether you call Raila Amchawi, or you call him a conman, or you call him what. Put out your best soldiers. Sit down with these ones and say, the reason why a referendum is bad for this country is this. Let us win the battle on arguments, not raising the voice.
So for you, yes, the Deputy President is jittery because of the fight against corruption. It is not about 2022 politics.
That is true. And if you want to know the first person who made a comment about thinking Raila was going to stand was Murkomen. And he did a post and say, Raila is going to stand for presidency in 2022, and he said, game on. Then he came out on state television, and I've said this before, and completely went on a tangent talking about State House people conspiring with others whom he referred to as Raila Odinga to try and fix Ruto on the issue of corruption.
Okay.
And then the issue then was, if William Ruto is not corrupt, why is he running around thinking that this lifestyle audit is about William Ruto? It is not about William Ruto. So that's the first thing.
But he has never come out to say the lifestyle audit is about him.
If you see everybody, and you've seen Cherangani, and he was MP, the senator, was here. You remember he was here, and he came out and said, together with other Jubilee, affiliated, Ruto-affiliated members of Parliament, when that lifestyle audit was declared, they went out on a tangent and started saying, if you're going to go against this common man or hustler, let's start with the president, the president's father. So what does that tell you? That seems to tell you that William Ruto himself thinks this is targeted at him. He went further on himself to say that I am not afraid of lifestyle audit. Why? Because people had started thinking that the reason why his people are fighting this is because Ruto has an opaque face when it comes to matters of corruption.
Honorable Didmas, why is the Deputy President so jittery about 2022?
You know, let me first respond to the specific issues mentioned by my very good friend Anthony Oloch. We have institutions that fight corruption in this country. We have the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, we have EACC, we have DCI. There is no single day that the Deputy President has interfered with these institutions to block their fight against corruption. So saying that the Deputy President is jittery because of the fight against corruption is lacking an agenda. and going out on a fishing expedition to find any garbage, anything, so that we can leverage it on the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And I want also to tell Anthony Oluoch that the Deputy President has been very categorical that he will not support a referendum that will aim at creating jobs and positions for individuals, which in turn will provide tax burdens to the Kenyans because we have to pay them salaries. But he is saying if the referendum is all about maybe reducing some positions, making lives for the Kenyans easy, and spur economic growth, we will support the referendum. But for very many times, I want to tell Kenyans that ODM, including Raila Odinga, these are people who have no agenda, and they are really out to frustrate the Deputy President. Because
But back to my question, Honorable Baraza. My question is, why is the Deputy President so jittery about 2022 if he knows very well that the Jubilee Party track record, the Jubilee administration track record, is about development? Because Kenyans will elect a leader based on the development agenda for the nation.
The Deputy President, the Deputy Party leader of Jubilee, when he speaks on behalf of most of us are the Jubilee members. And while we know very well that the government is committed to the Big Four agenda, but this handshake is being misinterpreted by Raila Odinga and his team, including my good friend Anthony Oluoch, to set the agenda for 2022, which will derail the implementation of the Big Four agenda.
Okay.
That's what they're doing.
Okay, hold on to that thought. I'd like us to take another short commercial break on KTN News Center, but when we come back, we shall continue to have this discussion about the Ruto-Raila political rivalry, whether it will affect the Building Bridges initiative following the famous handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and the opposition leader Raila Odinga.